approving the adoption and finding it's in the best interest of all the parties concerned. So let's talk briefly about the first step in the adoption process. Similar to regular or standard adoption, the Idaho step-parent adoption process requires the termination of parental rights of the other birth parent. The most common way this is done is by obtaining a written consent for the adoption and termination of parental rights from the other parent. A judge must witness the signature of the person signing the consent. Termination by written consent is not the only method, but the others can become a little more complicated. So if you have questions about this, please feel free to give us a call at the number listed below. Now for the second step of the adoption process. The next step involves the adoption hearing with the judge in court. This procedure is initiated by filing a petition for adoption with the court in the county in which the custodial parent, their spouse, who is the prospective adoptive parent, and the child live. One of the differences is that in a regular or standard adoption, the law requires that the adoptive couple provide a formal home study report to the court prior to the adoption hearing, and these can be fairly expensive and fairly time-consuming. In a step-parent adoption, the judge has the option to waive the requirement for a home study report since the child is living with one of the birth parents. Most judges are willing to do this, although some require the adoptive parent to provide some letters from several acquaintances indicating that the parent is a person of good moral character and would make a good adoptive parent. At the adoption hearing, if the judge finds everything in proper order and finds the adoption will be in the best interest of the child and the other parties, the judge will sign an order of adoption, which basically concludes the process. In my experience, making sure that all of the paperwork for both the termination and the adoption process is in proper order and presented to the judge can be a challenge at times. My name is Bob Montgomery, and I've been helping people with the Idaho adoption process for more than 30 years now. If you have questions about step-parent adoption in Idaho, please feel free to give me a call. The number is 208-322-8865. I'm always happy to visit with you, so give me a call today. The number again is 208-322-8865.